What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to pretty much pull back the curtains and break down our entire process on how we have booked over 950 podcasts for our clients in the last 18 months and how really you can get yourself booked on 10 podcasts in 10 weeks. So I'm going to jump in and share my screen for a second. If you're getting value from these videos, please subscribe so we can help the YouTube algorithm get these videos to more people. So without further ado, let's get into the video so we can break down exactly how you can get booked on 10 podcasts in the next 10 weeks. So to keep this really simple, I'm going to run through the exact PDF that we use on, you probably download it from our website or through our ads, but I'm going to break this down and give you some more clarity and instruction because there's only so much you can convey in a PDF. So the question that I'm sure you all have is, how do we actually get onto podcasts and then how do we leverage them? So let's start with the basics. So obviously podcasts get a lot of pitches, but most pitches suck. But before we even get to the pitch, what you want to do is build a list. Now, whenever we onboard a new client, we look for three key things, and that is audience, message, and brand alignment. Is the audience of this show going to benefit from your message? Is the message that you have going to resonate with the host and their audience? And is their brand on brand with you? We had a client who was in sales training and we booked him, and we had a certain sales podcast, which I'm not going to name names, which was a complete brand misalignment. There would have been almost some damage to their reputation had they have done this show. So you always want to look at shows that are actually going to enhance your reputation and not damage it. Now, to kind of start with the basics, obviously you want to look at what are your expertise? What do you have that other people don't? Now, if you're going to send out a pitch and say, oh, yes, I scaled a business to 10K a month, it's the most boring, basic thing you could ever do. You have to get creative and think out of the box. No one wants to hear another person talking about scaling to 10K a month. But regardless, look at 3 to 4 categories that you could add value to, whether that's business, marketing, finance, mindset. For example, for me, I have a lot of people that actually want to interview me on my background in golf and how I transition that into business, because that's a challenge that a lot of people have, and how I really was able to apply that mindset from high-level sport into business. Now, for you, that could be completely different. But try and unpack and think through what makes you different to every other person out there. And typically it has some element to do with your story. You might have had a tough upbringing. You might have had some kind of trauma or something that you overcame, or these challenges. Those are the things that hosts look for. A great story and great value to share. Now, there's a few softwares you can use to find and build these lists. There's Podbooker, Podseeker, Raphonic. You can go on LinkedIn. You can go on Instagram. You can even go onto Apollo.io to find these podcasts. So there is literally an abundance of platforms where you can find them. So I would compile a list of about 50 different shows if you're looking to get onto 10 podcasts. Because obviously not every email is going to get opened. Not every host is going to be interested in having you on. But like anything in business, the more volume you do, the more output you're going to get. Now, step 2, this is the most important part of the whole process. This is crafting your pitch. So I've included a template in this document, as you can probably see. But I wanted to walk you through how I kind of look at the pitch. So the pitch is initially just to get a bite from the person. If you go and tell someone your life story right away, people aren't going to read a 20-line email, right? You need to keep it as short and simple as possible. That's why we like to go for a personalized first line. So after we say, hi, first name, came across your show on Podseeker. Looks like you built an amazing audience. I really loved your episode where you interviewed XYZ person, right? Now, the personalization level depends upon how many you're sending. If you're sending 500, it's going to be very hard or very time-consuming to personalize that many. But regardless, make sure there's some element of personalization, or it's going to get lost in the noise and they're going to think you don't actually care. You're just mass blasting this out to as many people as possible. Now, the next part, you want to do a brief introduction, right? So my name's Lewis. I'm the founder of Bruce Media. We do PR and podcasts for small and medium businesses. We've helped over XYZ clients do XYZ results. I would love to add value to your audience by sharing my insight into scaling and hiring a team, scaling a business organically to over $100,000 a month, automated lead generation strategies to grow your business without adding more time, and the mindset required to go from professional athlete or aspiring professional athlete to business owner, right? So that would be something if I was doing it about myself. So kind of think through that for you. And then there's a few kind of call to actions you could put. You could be something like, do you think I would be a good fit for your show? I would love to add some more value to your audience. Would you be open to having me on? There's a ton of different ways you can do that. If you get stuck, even just ask ChatGPT to create you a variation of that. And then you say, look forward to hearing from you. Now, from here, step 3 is really to start beginning the outreach. So there's a ton of different tools you can use to automate this. I would suggest instantly.ai. If you wanted to sign up to instantly.ai, there's a link in the description. It is honestly my favorite tool, which I'm never going to stop paying for. It allows you to send personalized emails at scale to people who don't know you in an automated fashion. We use this for our outreach, for our podcast bookings, and many other things within our own business. Now, when you begin outreach, obviously, you want to structure this where you have an initial email and then some follow-up strategies as well. But you need to really hook them in with the subject line as well. So when you set up the subject line, you want to have something personalized in there, whether it's a name, whether it's about their podcast, whether it's about adding value to them, or something unique that's going to stand out. If you say something that's more than 6 words, like, "Hi, I would really like to be a guest on your show. I'm an expert in this," it just looks like spam, right? One of the most high-performing subject lines is quick question. So I would say, "Question for you, John. Question for you, Sarah. Quick question, Sarah." And then you kind of framing it that they just have a quick question. Then you're just framing it that you have a quick question for them. Now, you want to have at least 70% of your emails getting opened. That just shows that 1, you're getting good emails, and 2, your subject line and body is good. But there's one really important thing to remember here, and that is the fortune is in the follow-up. Not every host is going to respond to your initial email, right? They might even test you, right? Whether you're willing to actually go the extra mile and reach out a second, a third, a fourth time. That's why I highly recommend a tool like Instantly to actually do this. It will save you dozens of hours throughout the year where you could actually be working on other things in the business. So once you start to get bookings come in, what you need to do is show up and provide a lot of value to the audience. Now, some people have this idea that they're going to go into a podcast and immediately going to get all these people coming to them. But think about it yourself. How many times have you gone and listened to a podcast and then, immediately booked a call or purchased something right away? Perhaps in a case where it might be like a hair care, beauty supplement, whatever that may be, where it's, less than $50 ticket price. If you're selling expensive B2B services or even B2C services, thousands of dollars, you have to look at these as powerful touch points. So that's why you want to go on and not put too much of call to actions and really add value to them through your expertise, where you can make the person listening feel like, wow, the value I got from this person for free was unbelievable. What am I going to get by following them? What am I going to get potentially if I work with them in the future? And then leverage these powerful touch points in all of your marketing to actually get the podcast working for you, to bring in more leads, to bring in more eyeballs, more leads, and ultimately more paying customers for your business. And now the last part of this whole entire process is the leverage. So how do you actually leverage these in your marketing, in your business? We have a guide on 17 ways you can do that. You can get that from the link in the description. But to go high level here, to keep this video short and sweet, 1, you need to leverage it in your content as much as possible. You need to showcase that you are an authority, an expert on this subject by posting your interviews to LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you market your business. There are tools where you can literally press one button and it will send it to all of the platforms. So I would highly recommend finding some kind of distribution tool to save you time. You can use these in your marketing efforts, in your email sequences before a call. You can use these to nurture potential customers. And one thing that most people don't realize is you can actually use podcasts for SEO, right? You get backlinks from that show, you get backlinks from the show, but you can also turn that interview into a blog post, upload that to your website, which will organically boost its SEO ranking over time. So guys, this was a really high level training on how you can get yourself booked onto 10 podcasts in 10 weeks. Please go ahead and implement the action steps here. So to recap, we have getting clear on the shows you want to be on, crafting your pitch, setting up the email automations, showing up and adding value, and then step 5 is leveraging these podcasts. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.